You can just call your landlord or the apartment complex and they're going to come and fix it without a dollar out of your pocket. There are not many scenarios to where you're buying a home and there's not equity in the home when it is time to sell. As far as making it home, it's only going to be so much of your home because it's not yours. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to get a little nitty and gritty, okay, and talk about if it is smart to rent or buy in 2025. I hear a lot of controversy, definitely on TikTok, explaining why you should not buy. Renting is better, buying is better. I want to break it down to y'all because I know it can be a lot of information given. It's really sharing the ins and outs for both, okay? The ugly and the good, because there's ugly in both and there's good in both. I felt led to sit on down and share with you guys if it is wise to purchase in 2025 rather than renting. So let's get into it. Now, I'm an agent that keeps it 100, all right? There's never any lies. There's never any bluff. I'm going to tell y'all how it is so that you guys have expectations and know how to move forward after watching this very informative video. All right, so number one will be monthly cost. Statistics say that the average price for renting a home in 2025 is $1,637. That is pretty high. And are you able to get a mortgage for that note or lower? Absolutely, but let's get into it. The pros for renting is that it's a fixed monthly bill. You can expect each month for your rent to be the same. Now, however, I know that after your lease is up and you are going to renew for another year, your rent more than likely will increase. I hear so many stories, especially now with inflation happening, that a lot of the apartment buildings are just increasing rent without doing any fixes, without having any extra amenities. Fixed monthly rent will only last for so long. After you renew your lease, do expect for your rent to increase. Another con is that there's no maintenance or repairs out of your pockets. So that means that there's something that is going on, if there is a plumbing issue, if there is a water leak, if there's an appliance that is not working, you can just call your landlord or the apartment complex and they're going to come and fix it without a dollar out of your pocket. That right there is beautiful because those things are very pricey. And adding on to one of the monthly cost pros is just the amenities. So that means having a pool, having a tennis court, even a basketball court included in your rent price. So that is great because it's not anything else you have to pay for besides, of course, water and gas. But with your amenities, it's fixed in with the rent. Now, the cons for the monthly cost for renting is the rent will continue to increase. Inflation is real out here. Like I said, one of the pros for renting is your rent is going to be on a fixed income, but only for so long. When it renews, your rent is going to increase. So that right there is a pro and a con. That's why I put both, because it's a pro while you're in the lease for 12 months, but once the 13th month comes and your rent increases, it's going to sting a little bit. It's going to sting. And really what's most important is that there's no equity. When you're renting, your money is solely going into pockets that are not yours. You're not building any wealth. You're not building any equity. You will never see that money back. Is renting a waste of money? I do not believe so, because it's still housing you. That is the most important. I don't care if your apartment is a 600 square foot apartment. It is housing you. You have a place to rest your head at night. You have a place to wash up. You have a place to use the bathroom. You have a place to cook. It is not a waste of money, but your money is not building any wealth. That is one of the biggest cons with renting. Now, let's go into the buying side of the pros. With buying a home, your mortgage is also on a fixed. The only reason why your mortgage will ever change is if your taxes increase. If your taxes increase, your mortgage will increase as well. But for the most part, your mortgage is going to be the same. It may increase, but for the most part, your mortgage is fixed. So you can really go 2 years with paying the same mortgage rate until your taxes increase. That right there is beautiful, okay? Because you know how to budget accordingly with it being the same number. Buying a home builds equity. There are not many scenarios to where you're buying a home and there's not equity in the home when it is time to sell. There are only a few reasons why they would not, but equity is super important, and that is just how wealth is built. So when you sell your home, you're being able to pocket a good amount for the next purchase of your home. Now, going into the cons of buying a home is the upfront cost. For first-time home buyers, if you do not qualify for any down payment assistance programs, the least amount you have to bring to the closing table is 3% of your purchase price. That 3% of your purchase price is just your down payment. That does not cover your closing expenses as well. So I would add an additional 3 to 5% of your closing expenses on top of your down payment. So you're looking about 9% to be safe of the purchase price of your home. It can take a minute to get to that number, to have that money saved in your account. That is just something that I know steers a lot of people away from buying, but that's why I always share that there's so many down payment assistance programs that people can qualify for that will help a lot. And if you guys are interested, I would love to make a video to just share a couple down payment assistance programs so that you guys have more information and see how you guys can apply for that. One of the other cons of buying a home is the maintenance. Anything that is wrong with the home is on you. It's solely on you. Buying a home is a lot of responsibility, and I think you have to be ready for that responsibility in order to feel more confident, in order to feel more secure with buying a home. So I always share that with my clients, like, hey, look, make sure that you set aside and you have a budget each month that you're adding into for home maintenance, because you never want an appliance to break, a pipe to burst, and you don't have any money set aside to cover that. It's going to relieve a lot of stress if you have a monthly budget for home expenses, so that when it's time to fix anything, even like a roof, your AC units, your furnace, those are really big ticket price items. Having that money aside is going to relieve so much stress. So concluding that category, if you are trying to save money month to month, renting may be the best option when it comes terms to the finance aspect of it. But if you are trying to build equity and in turn, years from now, make thousands of dollars, buying is the right option. The second category we're going to talk about is the flexibility. Okay, so one of the pros when it comes to renting is that it is easy to move. You are able to break your lease, or even after your lease is up, you're able to just move out, find a new place, easily move right along into that. You don't have to really focus solely on the numbers, on what you can get from selling the property. When it comes to renting, it's just in and out. Hey, I give the keys, you get new keys, and it's easy peasy from there. I do think that with renting, it is best for people who are hopping a lot, maybe in different cities, or you're still trying to figure it out. Because it's a lot of responsibility when it comes to purchasing a home, I do think that if you are a person who likes to just dibble and dabble and you do not know exactly what area you are interested in buying and living long term, renting will be the best option, because you, again, have that flexibility to up and move, break your lease or end your lease, and you're available to up and move and find a new place in a different city. Now, when it comes to the cons, you are not able to customize your home as much. If you are wanting to paint, if you're wanting to switch out the appliances, if you're wanting to install a new chandelier, unfortunately, for most properties that you are renting, you are not able to do that. So as far as making it home, it's only going to be so much of your home because it's not yours. No green accent wall, no chandeliers, no stainless steel appliances if your room does not have that. So it's something to consider, because I know personally I want to be able to make my space, and do any and everything I want with it. Now, when it comes to flexibility with buying, you can do any and everything you want with your home. You have total freedom. You want to paint your room pink? Perfect. If you want new tile in your kitchen? Perfect. If you want new floors? Perfect. Because you can, because you own it. You get to do whatever you want. There are some homes that are in an HOA, so you do have to abstain those laws in the contract. But in the inside of your home, free will. Have as much fun as you want, have as much customization as you want. And I personally love that as a real estate agent and as an interior designer. That just makes me super happy knowing that you're able to make the space your own. Now, one of the cons with buying is that for some people, it can take them a minute to get there. And what I mean by that is just the saving. It can take a minute for some people to save $30,000 for your closing costs and your down payment. So it is a journey to get there for some people, but as long as you're consistent, as long as you're driven to reach that goal, you will achieve it. So if you do like to hop city to city, or you don't really care about personalizing your space as much, renting may be the best option. But if you do know the city or the state that you want to live in and you are going to be fine with that, buying is your best bet, because also you get to customize your home. Your home is going to show your personality. Your home is going to show the things you love, the type of person you are. If you're cozy, are you bold? Do you like white? Do you like gray? Do you like black? Do you like color? Okay, another category is the financial growth. So this is going to touch a little bit about what I said earlier about the equity versus really just paying interest on a property that is not yours. With buying a home, the value of your home is going to continuously increase. Homes historically go up. So it's kind of like you're living in a savings account, which I personally love. So when you purchase a home, you can almost guarantee that you are going to sell it for more than what you purchased it. So that difference is what you're going to pocket, which is great. That's always a great income. Plus what you already paid off your mortgage too, it's going to even make it more money that you're going to walk away with. What I say to people when it comes to buying and renting is think of it like you pretty much are paying for someone else's bills when it comes to renting. You're paying for their bills, you're paying for their mortgage, you're paying for their property taxes, and not only that, you're paying them allowance, okay? This money is not going anywhere but to your landlords or to your apartment complex's pockets, okay? This is not your money, honey. It is eye-opening when you think of it like that. Like, I am actually paying someone else's bills by renting. It can be an ouchie because you could be paying your bills and making equity by buying a home. Real talk, the market in 2025 is doing a lot. Rates are hovering around, and as of right now, it is a buyer's market, which means that there's a lot more listings. So there's a lot more sellers in this market than there are buyers. So there's homes that are sitting on the market for a lot longer than typical. So it is an advantage right now with buying. And I know you always hear, oh, it's a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. As a real estate agent right now, I'm here to let you know that it is a buyer's market. So for the ones who are thinking like, okay, I think I want to start entertaining the thought of buying, this market is great for you because there's more listings. You have more of opportunity to negotiate. That means a lower purchase price. That means even asking the seller to cover some of your closing costs. That means less money that you need to bring to the closing table, which means more money in your pockets. At the end of the day, renting and buying is not just a money decision. It is also a life decision. Either way, you're not behind or you're not too late. You're just building at your own pace, and that is powerful. Let me know if this video has helped you and what you think you'll end up doing by the end of the year. Are you going to stay with renting? Are you going to start the home buying process? If so, I would love to help and support you as your real estate agent. So definitely contact me. My email box is in the description. And I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Please let me know more things you guys want me to touch on that may be controversial, or maybe even just questions you guys have just about home buying and what that looks like. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.